All right, CGC Sports Illustrated. This is my hobby. I've sent a ton of issues into CGC in the last few months to be graded. This is the last batch. By the way, this is probably going to be a two-parter because I think there's 25 issues in this box. So probably going to have to make this a two-part video. Okay. Like I said, still got a lot more Sports Illustrateds in the hopper, waiting to be graded by CGC. This is the latest batch. I need to send some more in because it's been probably a month or more since I've sent some in. Oh, okay, and they stack these up so that I can see the grades. As always, I haven't seen any of these grades. I don't know what they are. We're gonna be looking at them right now for the first time. Number one comes out, and it is Michael Jordan, I'm back. So this is when he wore number 45 and came back from his first retirement, 9.6. You know, there's so many of these graded that a 9.6 is actually a disappointment. Normally I'd be thrilled with a 9.6 issue of any Jordan, but man, there's literally, the population report on this issue is huge, and so there's a ton of them out there. But okay, 9.6, not the end of the world, I'll take it. And next up, again, most of these will be Jordans is my guess. So this is when they beat the Pistons in 1991 in the playoffs, but before the finals when they beat the Lakers. An 8.0. I mean, I've got some color break on the spine. Yeah, the corner's not that great. I guess I'm okay with that grade. I can see it. The most important thing, I guess, from CGC is consistency, and that's really what I expect from them, and that's what we get for the most part. They do tend to be very consistent in their grading. They're difficult graders, and you know that's part of the process. I mean, that's why we all use CGC, because we want them to grade tough. We don't want them to be easy. Interesting. Okay, so this is the only, or certainly the first non-Sports Illustrated issue I've ever had graded. So this is when Jordan was on Newsweek in 1995, 9.2. Not bad. I'll take it. Pretty good. Next up. There we go. How about that? Nice. 9.8. Okay, that's great. So this is 1997. This is would have been after their 5th NBA championship. Yeah, June 23rd. So their 5th NBA championship when they beat the they beat the Jazz that year. 9.8. Man, thrilled. It's awesome. 9.8 Jordan. Let's go. Let's get a couple more 9.8 years. Come on. I like the looks of that. 9.6, oh gosh, so this is the Cubs winning the World Series in 2016, so it's a fairly recent issue. There's a number of these graded, obviously. Cubs win the World Series for the first time in 100 years. People are gonna get a lot of those issues graded. I guess I'm okay with it. I was really hoping for a 9.8 on this. If I'm thinking back to the population reports, I think there's a lot of 9.8s, but 9.6, not bad, we'll take it, decent. Now, if I had a 9.4, then we would have been talking a whole different story. I would have been miserable with that grade. Next one up. Bullwhipped. This is 96 during the finals against Seattle, 9.2. Not really all that thrilled with that grade since it's such a recent issue of Jordan's. 9.2. That's okay, not bad. I have to pull the grader notes on that one. Not quite sure why that one graded that poorly, but 9.2. Like I said, probably gonna be a two-part video because we got 25 of these in the latest shipment. Again, mostly Jordans probably. Chicago Fire. This is 1996. This would have been, the beginning of the playoff run that year against the Magic. 8.5. Gotta say I'm flat out disappointed in that grade. I mean, I see a little bit of spine break. Corners are in good shape. I would have thought it would have been a 9. 8.5 is not that far off, so I'm not going to get that upset. But, man, I hate getting a Jordan with anything less than a 9. Next one. Okay, so this one's fun. I don't think anybody's ever had one of these graded. It's a very low population report. This is Montana and Magic and Gretzky, who kind of, dominated the 80s. This is from 1989. The reason why I got it graded is because how often is there a Sports Illustrated with 3 absolute megastar Hall of Famers on it? 9.2 is decent. Yeah, looking at it, there's some rub on the spine. A little bit of color break at the top. Yeah, 9.2 is a decent grade for that. It's acceptable. Come on, where are my 9.8s at? Where are my 9.8s at? Ooh, now that's a nice one. Really have started getting into the older hockey issues. I think in one of my last videos, I had a couple Stan Mikitas that graded spectacularly. Really, really pleased with this one. This is a Gretzky from 1984, so an older issue. 9.6. That I know the pop report on this one. That's a pop 1-on-1, none higher. I think there may be a 9.0 on this, but 9.6 is spectacular. Thrilled with that one. 9.6 on that Gretzky is fantastic. Not a 9.8, but man, feels like it. That was a big win. And I'm happy that there's some non-Jordans in here as well, just for a little variety. So apparently I sent 2 of these same issues in from the I'm Back issue in his 45 jersey, and the other one was a 9.6, and this one was a 9.6. Man, bummer. Would have been nice to have 1.98 on those. In good shape too, man. Those were really tight. There we go, 9.8, baby. Very nice. This is considered a Jordan issue because he's right there on the cover. As you can see, Pippen and Harper. Chicago Bulls from 1998, so one of the more newer Michael Jordan issues. But man, 9.8. I'm thrilled with that one. I always like this picture. Again, part of what I love about Sports Illustrated so much is the photography is just so good on these. And I just love the perspective on this one, looking down that plane while they're gambling and playing cards. Yeah, 9.8 Jordan. Can't ever be disappointed with a 9.8 Michael Jordan. I think we're going to stop there and then be back in a second for part 2.